Homeschool Moms. They are the organizer, the planner of their homeschool and curriculum. They guide, correct, and help their children learn and grow. They are the cleaner, they are the cook, they are the taxi driver to all the extracurriculars, and they are the coordinator of all the things. Not just homeschool moms, moms in general. They can become tired. They put everyone else's needs before their own. They are on the back burner, and they can feel defeated, tired. They can feel overwhelmed. All of that can happen if you don't recharge. Hello mamas, I'm Rachel from Day Joys, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today I am going to be talking about recharging as a homeschool mom, and I am going to be doing this with Jamie over at Simply Living It. Jamie is a homeschool mom of 3 boys. She is a busy mama. She shares tons of encouragement here on YouTube, so make sure you check out her channel. She is going to be sharing all about how she recharges and her perspective, and I am going to share mine. I am a mom to 4 kiddos. I have Lincoln, he's in 7th grade, Julia is in 6th grade, London is in 1st grade, and Kobe is tagging along and in preschool. So today I am going to share how I recharge as a mama, as a homeschool mama. Sometimes we forget to recharge and take care of ourselves. Like I said, we put ourselves on the back burner and put everybody else's needs before ours. Then we can get burnt out. That is a huge buzzword in homeschooling and being a mom. You're just burned out, you're done, you're ready to quit, call it quits, and all of that. So you want to make sure you recharge. And just so you know, a little secret, I'm preaching to myself here, okay? I've heard this analogy several times of lots of different things for life and health. And when you're on an airplane in a flight ready to go, and the flight attendants come out and go over all of the safety guidelines, what do? They pull the pamphlet out and tell you, buckle your seatbelt, all of that. Then they talk about the oxygen masks that come down. And what do they say? We have to remember about ourselves. So take the oxygen mask and put it on yourself, and then you can be a better mother, better friend, better wife, all of those things. So as we get into this video, I am going to talk about some ways that I do this myself, and then I'm going to give you some ideas about how, in general, how you could do this. Maybe things I've done in the past, things I've heard other people do. And I have a little disclaimer. No, I do not do these things all the time. And yes, sometimes I forget to take care of myself. And yes, I have had a short fuse many of times over the past 13 years of being a mom from that burnout and not recharging myself. So a little disclaimer, I'm still a work in progress, and I will always be a work in progress. And I got my notes here in case you see me have these cards or look down at them. So I'm going to share 4 ways that I recharge as a homeschool mom in general. The first one is going to be a quiet time with God. I shared in a recent update video that I had a really hard time this past year, hence why I hadn't been sharing on YouTube for about 10 months. Over this time, my relationship and dependence on God has grown and grown. I have spent a lot more time in prayer, and I have found writing down my prayers in my prayer journal has really helped. Then I can also look back and see where I was and how far God has taken me. And sometimes I don't make time for this. A quiet time with God can mean a lot of things. It can mean prayer, devotion, spending an hour in the scripture before the kids wake up, all that. And we're all in different seasons, and some of us just can't do that. A quiet time with God for me means praying, listening to worship music, taking my thoughts captive and taking out that junk and putting it that way and asking God to replace it with His truths and with His word. And if I'm able, a devotion or something like that. On the Bible app, they have a lot of different devotions, like hundreds of devotions that you can choose from, and it literally can take 2 to 5 minutes to do each day. So I try to have that on my phone and try to do that. Just seeking Him in His grace and His strength. And none of this is a perfect way, a 5-step of way how to have a quiet time with God. These are just different things that I've done to help me get closer to God. The next thing is alone time. I would say this is one of my big ones of how I recharge. So through the years, this has looked differently in different ways. So when my kids were younger, I had, and not always, this has not always happened, I had a mother's helper come a couple hours a week, and I was able to leave and do errands and things by myself. It really helped me in that season of my life to be able to get out of the house, away from the kids, to do something on my own. If we weren't able to have a mother's helper, then my husband would do that sometimes on Saturdays, and I would go and do whatever, go stroll in Target, go sit at the Starbucks, whatever, and just do something for myself. Be alone from people asking me questions, stopping arguments between siblings, all that kind of stuff. As our kids have gotten older, my 13 and 11-year-old, I can leave them for a little bit of time to run an errand and watch the little kids, or I can go for a walk down our road or whatever, and they can help watch the little kids. I sometimes will just sit in the car and listen to music, chat with a friend. I will just start getting my phone out and scrolling on it, and eventually the kids will come out and be like, "Mom, what are you doing? Sit in the car." For me, alone time is a big thing to recharge. Time with God, alone time, do something that I want to do. And I hesitated wearing my little Stitch shirt today. You know, sometimes you just gotta pull out the Disney music and listen and put that smile on your face, even if you're not smiling on the inside. Change your perspective. Think about things that you're grateful for, and not, instead of the things that aren't going right, think about the things that are going right. And I'm still working on that every single day. The next thing is a hobby or something that you are interested in. I have done pretty good job about doing this over my course of being a mother. When my first two kids were really little, we moved to a new town, and I just decided I need to do something. I need to do something for myself, and in just all the mundane stuff of life and young kids, I just had to do something. So I started a mom's group, and I started blogging. I started writing about our life, things that were being helpful, recipes, stuff like that. Both of those were really great for me. They were hobbies that I liked doing. They weren't for any reason except for sharing and writing stuff down. And for the moms group, I got to interact with other moms, to know that I am not the only one going through whatever, and to be encouraged and let our children play. So that's ways I did it when my children were little. Then blogging turned into YouTubing, and that is just my creative outlet. That's kind of the point of this part, the hobby, something that interests you, something that you're passionate about, that you get excited about, that makes your heart overflow with joy, raising kids and being a mom, all that. But you gotta do something, a hobby for yourself. This YouTube channel is my creative outlet. I enjoy sharing just like I did when I was blogging back in the day. And if you don't work from home, having something that you're passionate about, that you're excited about, that's a hobby for you, also teaches your kids that you also enjoy doing other things, that you get passionate about things, that you are excited, you have creative interests that help you learn and grow. I think that's a good thing for your children to see, but also for you to experience. I also teach on OutSchool and on the side, very, very side, during this pandemic, not working really at all with that. I help with travel, especially with Disney. So it's just doing some things that you like to do, that you're passionate about. It is nice if it's like a side hustle that makes a little bit of money. So you do something that you're really interested in, and it might help with some financial things with your home, or you might get some opportunities with doing something that you actually really like. There's a lot of other kinds of hobbies that people do. You can do CrossFit, you can crochet, you can do scrapbooking, you can do Bible journaling. Some people write, some people craft, some people paint. There's all different kinds of things that you can do that's a hobby that jazzes you up. And the last thing for me that's a recharge for me, even though it's happening to somebody else, is having a bedtime for our kids. Now, I don't know how this is quite going to work out as they get older, because I know when kids get older, they don't have that bedtime anymore. But a bedtime has always helped me to recharge. I know that, we're going to pray, sing Jesus Loves Me, tuck in, kiss, and they're going to go to bed. And then that will be time for me and my husband, whatever. Time to binge watch a show. Time to not have to worry about arguments between kids, to have to clean up spills, to have to answer questions from your kids. So bedtime is something that actually recharges me. I often, a couple times, like at least 1 or 2 times a week, I'll get my Halo Top ice cream and I will binge watch a show, whatever I have been watching during that frame of time. So those are my 4 big things that I do. Of course, I do other things. Some other ideas that I have here are exercise. It elevates your heart rate and helps your body and soul and mind. It really does. Like sometimes if I'm frustrated or whatever, going down and taking a walk down our road, even if it's just simple as a walk, it really helps me like calm my mind, calm my nerves, helps my heart rate get up. And some mamas like Jamie, she likes to go run, and I can't remember what else she likes to do, but it is very important to her exercising. Another thing is building an atmosphere, a team atmosphere at your home, that your children and everyone know that Mama doesn't do all the work. Mama doesn't do all the dishes. Mama doesn't do all the laundry. Now, when they're little, yes. But building a atmosphere of a team mindset so that we all work together to get things done. I think it also is important to have your kids have some quiet time of their own. I used to do this a lot, especially when my older 2 were younger. They can go in their room, read, do whatever they want by themselves. That also helps them create to not have to need someone else to do something, need a sibling, need a parent, that they can go do something on their own for a little bit every single day. Also, I'm going to call them play dates, get-togethers, whatever, especially if you have a homeschool mom friend who has kids, and you can get together and the kids can play and you can talk. Have a spa day. I do not do this, not enough at all. But at least once a year, I try to have a spa day where I go to a salon and get my hair done if I'm able, like a facial or something, even though I haven't done that for a really, really long time. But I did just get my hair, and that was nice, just sitting there relaxing, drinking my Starbucks and not having to worry about anything, relaxing. And if you aren't able to do that type of thing, you can also do this at home. When your kids go to bed at night, go have a bubble bath. I've done this a lot of times this past year too. Just go unwind, relax. Get a playlist on your phone and go just sit and lay in that tub in bubbles and just relax. You can also get a pedicure, manicure. You don't want to see my toes. They are not looking good. I don't do that at all, hardly either. The thing that I do is I get my eyelashes done about 2 times a month. So these are eyelash extensions, and so that is my spa thing. I'd rather do that than get my hair done, every other month or something. Once a year for my hair about, and then I can do it on my own the rest of the time, and my thing is my eyelashes. Another one that you wouldn't think would help recharge you, but it actually does, is decluttering. At least for me, when an area is very cluttered, I can start to just be like, oh, that's the cluttering area. I'm just not going to touch it. It's just going to keep getting piled in junk. And it just becomes a mess that's there, but you aren't dealing with it. You could relate that to other areas in your life too. But once I have cleaned up that area, it just feels freeing, and it does recharge me. So take some work, but then it helps you feel recharged after decluttering an area. Another thing is a long talk with a friend, sleeping in on the weekends. That one will work. So those are just some ways that you can recharge as a mom and how I do it. I would love to know how you're intentional to make time to recharge for yourself, or things that you used to like to do that you don't anymore, that maybe you'll start doing again. And I really hope that you have a blessed day. I hope that you find some way to recharge today. Just feel a little peace and gentleness in your heart. And remember that we all have things that we struggle with. We all deal with putting ourselves on the back burner, and you just have to be intentional about making time for you and for yourself, and make sure you recharge so that you can better serve your family. Because once you are more filled with joy, you're more energized, you feel uplifted and ready to take things on, then the better that you can serve your children and your family as a homeschool mom. Please go check out Jamie's channel from Simply Living It, and she will be sharing all about her perspective on recharging. She is so encouraging. Whenever I see a new video for her when I'm on my phone and I'm like, a new video Jamie posts, I'm watching it. She is one of those people that I do that with. If you like this type of video, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up. I hope that you will also subscribe. I try to share things about mom life. I share things about homeschooling, but not only that, I share my favorites and encouraging things. So I hope that you will subscribe and stick around here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.